The champagne glasses sparkled under the crystal chandelier. 50 people filled Natalie's living room, their laughter bouncing off the cream-colored walls she had painted herself just 3 months ago. She wore her best black dress, the one that hugged her curves perfectly and made her dark skin glow. Her natural curls were styled in an elegant updo. She had spent 3 days planning this surprise party for Gregory's promotion to Vice President of Operations. Speech. Someone called out. Gregory stood in the center of the room, his smile broad and confident. He looked handsome in his navy suit, his dark hair perfectly styled. Natalie beamed at him from across the room, her heart swelling with pride. 7 years of marriage. 7 years of supporting his career, hosting his work dinners, being the perfect wife while building her own interior design business. Thank you all for coming, Gregory said, raising his glass. His eyes found Natalie. I want to thank someone special tonight. Natalie felt her cheeks warm. Finally, he was going to acknowledge her support in front of everyone. But first, I need to speak with my wife. Natalie, can you come here? She walked toward him, smiling, expecting a romantic moment. The guests parted for her. When she reached him, he took her hand. His palm felt cold. Natalie and I have been together for 7 years, he continued, his voice carrying across the now quiet room. She's been adequate. Adequate? Natalie's smile faltered. But I need to be honest tonight on this important milestone in my life. He dropped her hand. I want a divorce. The room went silent. Someone's phone clattered to the floor. Natalie stared at him. What? I've been with someone else for 2 years now. Someone who actually inspires me. Someone who understands my ambitions. He gestured toward a young woman near the kitchen doorway. Simone. Natalie recognized her from company events. Blonde, thin, wearing a red dress that seemed too tight, too bright. Gregory, this is a joke, right? Natalie's voice cracked. Her hands started shaking. No joke. I need someone on my level now. You're expired, Natalie. I'm moving forward and you're not part of that picture. He said it so casually, like he was discussing the weather. Natalie couldn't breathe. The room spun. 50 pairs of eyes stared at her. Some guests had their phones out, recording. She could hear whispers starting. I'll have my lawyer contact yours. I want the house and half of your business. That seems fair given that I supported you when you started. He straightened his tie. Simone and I are leaving now. You can clean this up. He walked away from her. Just walked away. Simone linked her arm through his and they headed for the door. The woman had the nerve to look back at Natalie with a smug smile. Gregory? Natalie finally found her voice, but it came out broken and small. You can't just. The front door closed behind them. 50 people stood in her house, staring at her. Someone coughed. A woman near the kitchen started crying. Others looked at their feet, their phones, anywhere but at her. Natalie stood frozen in the center of her living room, in her beautiful black dress, surrounded by champagne glasses and congratulation banners. Her perfect party. Her perfect life. All of it destroyed in 3 minutes. Everyone needs to leave, someone said. Natalie recognized the voice. Tracy, her best friend and business partner, was suddenly beside her, putting an arm around her shoulders. Party's over. Get out. Now. People scrambled for the door. Natalie heard them talking as they left. Did you know? 2 years. Can you believe it? At his own party. I got it on video. Poor thing. The door kept opening and closing. Opening and closing. Finally, silence. Natalie. Tracy turned her around. Look at me. Natalie looked at her friend. Tracy's brown eyes were filled with tears and anger. I'm going to pack you a bag. We're going to my apartment. Right now. He left me, Natalie whispered. In front of everyone. I know, honey. I know. He humiliated me. Yes. He called me expired. Tracy's jaw tightened. That man is going to regret what he did. But first, we need to get you out of here. Natalie looked around her living room. Half-empty champagne glasses everywhere. A banner that read, "Congratulations, Gregory," hung above the fireplace. Abandoned plates of food on every surface. The home she had made beautiful, the party she had planned perfectly, all of it was now evidence of the worst moment of her life. I can't leave, Natalie said, her voice hollow. This is my house. We'll deal with that later. Right now, you need to not be here. Natalie's legs gave out. She sank onto the couch, her hands covering her face. 7 years. She had given him 7 years. Supported his career. Skipped opportunities for her own business to host his dinners, to be available for his needs. She had loved him with everything she had. And he had been lying to her for 2 years. 2 years with Simone. 2 years of coming home to Natalie, sleeping in their bed, saying he loved her, all while planning this moment. Did everyone know? Natalie asked. Did the whole company know? I don't know, Tracy said gently. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out everything. And then we're going to make him pay for what he did to you. Natalie lowered her hands. She looked at her friend, at the determination in Tracy's eyes. Something cold and hard settled in Natalie's chest, pushing aside the shock and pain. Yes, she said quietly. We are. Natalie woke up on Tracy's couch with sunlight stabbing her eyes. For one beautiful second she didn't remember. Then it all crashed back. The party. Gregory's announcement. Simone's smug face. 50 witnesses. She groaned and pulled the blanket over her head. You're awake, Tracy said from somewhere nearby. Coffee's ready. Natalie sat up slowly. Her head pounded. Her eyes felt swollen. She was still wearing her black dress from last night, now wrinkled and creased. Tracy stood in the kitchen doorway in her pajamas, holding 2 mugs. What time is it? Natalie's voice came out raspy. 10 in the morning. You slept about 4 hours. Tracy handed her a mug and sat down in the armchair across from her. Your phone has been going off nonstop. I turned it on silent. Natalie picked up her phone from the coffee table. 63 missed calls. Over 200 text messages. She scrolled through them with numb fingers. Her mother, call me immediately. Her sister, is it true? I saw the video. Colleagues from her design business, are you okay? Former classmates she hadn't spoken to in years, thinking of you. And then she saw it. A text from her neighbor, Mrs. Chen, sent at 7 in the morning. Honey, I hate to tell you this, but Gregory came by with movers at 6 a.m. They took furniture in boxes. I tried to stop them, but he said it was his right. Natalie's hand tightened around her phone. He went to the house. This morning. With movers. Tracy leaned forward. What? He cleaned out the house while I was sleeping here. Natalie stood up, coffee forgotten. I need to go home. Now. I'll drive you. 20 minutes later, they pulled into Natalie's driveway. The house looked the same from outside. White exterior, black shutters, the small garden Natalie maintained. She had bought this house before marrying Gregory. It was hers. She unlocked the front door with shaking hands. The living room was partially empty. The leather chair Gregory always sat in was gone. His bookshelf was gone. But he had also taken the coffee table Natalie had refinished herself. He had taken the lamp her grandmother gave her. He had taken the rug she bought on their honeymoon. That rug was mine, Natalie said, her voice breaking. We bought it together in Morocco. I paid for it. She walked through the house. The kitchen was missing half its contents. Their bedroom made her sick. He had taken his clothes but also some of her jewelry. The closet door stood open, empty hangers swinging slightly. On the bed was a folder. Natalie opened it with trembling hands. Divorce papers. Already filed. He had signed them yesterday before the party. The date was right there in black ink. He had planned this. He had filed for divorce in the morning, then let her throw him a party, then humiliated her in front of everyone. It was calculated. Cruel. A sticky note was attached to the papers. Gregory's handwriting, have your lawyer contact mine. I want the house sold and assets split 50-50. This includes your business since we were married when you started it. Don't make this difficult. Tracy read over her shoulder. That man has lost his mind if he thinks he's getting your business. Natalie laughed, but it came out bitter. He supported me when I started 3 years ago. He thinks that means he owns half. You built that business. Every client, every design, every late night. That's yours. Natalie walked to the bathroom and looked at herself in the mirror. Her makeup from last night was smeared. Her eyes were red and swollen. Her beautiful dress was ruined. She looked destroyed. She thought about how Gregory had looked at her last night. Like she was nothing. Like their 7 years meant nothing. Like she was trash he was finally throwing out. Something shifted inside her. The grief started hardening into something else. Something cold and sharp. Tracy, she said, still staring at her reflection. I need you to call James. The lawyer James? Yes. We're calling him today. Right now. Tracy pulled out her phone. What are you thinking? Natalie turned to face her friend. I'm thinking Gregory made a mistake. He thinks I'm weak. He thinks I'll just cry and accept whatever he wants. He thinks humiliating me was the end of the story. And I'm going to show him he's wrong. Natalie's voice was steady now, strong. I'm going to show him exactly what happens when you throw away someone who loved you. I'm going to make him regret the day he met Simone. I'm going to take everything from him, piece by piece, and he's going to watch it happen. Tracy smiled, sharp and fierce. Now that's the Natalie I know. Call James. Then I need you to help me with something. Anything. I need to access Gregory's computer files from his home office. He kept everything on a shared cloud drive. I know his passwords. Natalie's mind was already working, planning. If he's been with Simone for 2 years and hiding it, what else has he been hiding? You think there's more? Men like Gregory don't just cheat. They cheat in every part of their life. Their relationships, their work, their taxes. Everything. We're going to find it all. Tracy hugged her. Let's destroy him. Natalie hugged her back, feeling strength return to her body. The shock was wearing off. The pain was still there, sharp and deep, but now it had company. Anger. Determination. A cold, focused rage that gave her clarity. Gregory thought this was over. He thought he had won. He had no idea what was coming. James Morrison sat across from Natalie in his downtown office. He was 52, gray-haired, and had a reputation for winning even the ugliest divorces. Tracy had recommended him 3 years ago when her own sister went through a terrible split. Let me make sure I understand, James said, his fingers steepled under his chin. He announced the divorce at a party you threw for him. In front of 50 witnesses. After filing papers that same morning. And he's demanding your house and half your business. Yes, Natalie said. She had showered and changed into a professional pantsuit. Her armor. No more looking like a victim. And you purchased the house 2 years before marrying him. Yes, I have all the paperwork. The deed is in my name only. Good. James made a note. The business. I started my interior design company 4 years ago, 1 year after we married. He gave me $5,000 as startup money. That's the only financial contribution he ever made. Everything else I built myself. Can you prove that? Every bank statement, every invoice, every contract. I keep detailed records. James smiled. You're making my job easy. What about his claim that he supported you? He supported me the way any spouse supports another. I cooked his meals, cleaned his house, hosted his work events, supported his career moves. If he's counting that as financial investment, then I should send him an invoice. Tracy, sitting beside Natalie, laughed. Tell him about the company events. I've hosted 16 dinner parties for his colleagues over the years. Professional networking events at our home. I did all the planning, cooking, decorating. I never charged him for my time or skills, but if we're talking about contributions, those events helped his career significantly. James was writing quickly now. This is good. Very good. Now, you mentioned on the phone that you suspect financial irregularities. Natalie opened her laptop and turned it to face him. Gregory kept everything on a cloud drive. He thought I didn't know his password, but I set up the account for him 3 years ago. I accessed it this morning. Is that legal? James asked carefully. It's a family account. My name is on it as a secondary user. Perfectly legal. James leaned forward to look at the screen. Natalie clicked through folders. These are his expense reports from the last 2 years. Look at this entry from 18 months ago. Dinner at the Grove, $500, marked as client entertainment. Okay. The Grove is a romantic restaurant. I called them this morning and asked about their private dining. They don't do business dinners. It's couples only. Natalie clicked to another file. Here's a hotel charge at the Windsor, $800, also marked as business travel. Let me guess, James said. He wasn't traveling for work. His company calendar shows he was in town that whole week. I cross-referenced everything. Natalie showed him more files. Over the past 2 years, there are over $50,000 in personal expenses marked as business costs. Restaurants, hotels, jewelry purchases. He's been using company money to fund his affair with Simone. Tracy whistled. That's fraud. Yes, it is, James agreed. He looked at Natalie with new respect. You've done excellent investigative work. Have you told anyone else about this? No. Only Tracy knows. Good. Keep it that way for now. James sat back in his chair. Here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to respond to his divorce filing with our own demands. You keep the house, full ownership of your business, and he owes you for the items he took from your home. What about his fraud? Natalie asked. We're going to document everything thoroughly. Then, at the right moment, we're going to present this evidence to his company. Not yet though. We need to time this perfectly. Why wait? Because right now he thinks he has all the power. He thinks you're broken and desperate. Let him think that for a while. Let him get comfortable. Meanwhile, we build an airtight case. When we strike, it will be devastating. Natalie felt a grim satisfaction settling in her chest. I like how you think. There's something else, Tracy said. Show him the Simone connection. Natalie clicked to another folder. Simone Peters works in Gregory's department. She reports directly to him. Here are emails between them going back 2 years. Very friendly at first, then clearly inappropriate. Here's one where he promises her a promotion if she meets him at a hotel. James's eyebrows rose. He was her direct supervisor? Yes. That's a massive company liability. Not only fraud but sexual harassment, abuse of power, creating a hostile work environment. James was grinning now. Natalie, you've handed me everything I need to take him apart. I'm not done, Natalie said. She pulled up another file. These are his tax returns for the past 3 years. Look at his declared income versus his actual income according to his pay stubs. James looked at the numbers and went very still. He's underreporting by nearly 20%. I know. That's tax evasion. That's federal. I know, Natalie repeated. Her voice was cold and steady. Gregory thought I was just a pretty face who made his house look nice. He never paid attention to what I actually do. I'm a designer, yes, but I also run a business. I understand numbers, contracts, liability. He underestimated me. He sure did. James closed the laptop carefully. Natalie, I need to ask you something. What exactly do you want from this divorce? I want everything that's mine. I want him to have nothing. I want his company to know what he did. I want Simone to see who he really is. I want everyone who witnessed him humiliate me to see him fall. She paused. And I want to walk away knowing I won. No reconciliation? Never. He's dead to me. James nodded slowly. Then we're going to give you exactly what you want. But you need to be patient. These things take time. I can be patient, Natalie said. I've been patient for 7 years with a man who didn't deserve it. I can be patient a little longer to watch him lose everything. They spent the next 2 hours going through documents. Natalie provided copies of everything. Bank statements, emails, expense reports, tax documents. She had been thorough. Every piece of evidence was documented, dated, cross-referenced. As they were leaving, James walked them to the door. Natalie, one more thing. Don't contact Gregory directly. Don't respond to his calls or texts. Everything goes through me now. Can you do that? Easily. I have nothing to say to him. Good. And be prepared. When he realizes you're not rolling over, he's going to try to intimidate you. He might show up at your house or your office. Don't engage. Document everything and call me immediately. I will. In the car, Tracy turned to her. How are you really doing? Natalie looked out the window at the city passing by. I should be crying. I should be devastated. Part of me is. But mostly? She turned to Tracy. Mostly I feel angry. Focused. For 7 years, I made myself smaller so he could feel bigger. I supported his dreams while putting mine on hold. I forgave his moods, his criticisms, his neglect. I told myself marriage was about compromise. And now I see it wasn't compromise. It was me giving everything and him taking it all. And you know what? I'm done. I'm done being small. I'm done being nice. He wanted to throw me away like I was nothing? Fine. He's going to learn exactly what he threw away. Tracy reached over and squeezed her hand. You're going to be okay. Better than okay. I know, Natalie said. And she meant it. 3 weeks after the party, Natalie stood in the lobby of the Harrison Hotel, her portfolio under her arm. The building was stunning. 30 stories of glass and steel in the heart of downtown, recently purchased by hotel magnate Thomas Harrison. Word was he wanted to completely redesign the interiors of all 10 properties in his chain. This was the opportunity of a lifetime. Natalie had dressed carefully. A cream-colored suit that made her dark skin glow. Her natural curls styled in a professional but stylish way. Simple gold jewelry. She looked successful, confident, expensive. She felt like she was dying inside. Gregory had been calling nonstop. First sweet messages. Baby, I made a mistake. Then angry ones. You're going to regret making this difficult. Then threatening ones. My lawyer is going to destroy you. She had blocked his number after James told her to document everything first. Last week, she had seen the video from the party online. Someone had posted it. 50,000 views. The comments were brutal. Some people defended Gregory. She probably wasn't supportive enough. Others attacked Simone. Homewrecker. Most just found it entertaining. Her humiliation was viral content. She had cried for 2 days. Then she had gotten back to work. Miss Brooks? A woman in her 40s approached her. I'm Patricia Cole, Mr. Harrison's executive assistant. He's ready for you. Natalie followed her to the elevator. They rode to the 30th floor in silence. The doors opened to a beautiful office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Thomas Harrison stood as she entered. He was in his mid-50s, tall, with silver hair and sharp eyes. His suit probably cost more than her car. Miss Brooks, he said, shaking her hand. His grip was firm. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Harrison. Please call me Thomas. Sit. He gestured to a leather chair. I've been reviewing your portfolio. Your work is impressive. The Riverside complex renovation particularly caught my eye. You transformed that space completely while staying under budget and ahead of schedule. Thank you. That project was challenging but rewarding. I like challenging. He leaned back in his chair. I'll be direct, Miss Brooks. I need someone to redesign the interiors of 10 hotels across 5 states. This is a $20 million project. I've interviewed 12 firms. Most are bigger than yours. Why should I choose you? Natalie had prepared for this question. Because big firms will give you standard luxury. They'll make your hotels look like every other high-end property. I create experiences. I design spaces that tell stories. Your hotels will be memorable, unique, and they'll photograph beautifully for social media, which is where your guests will share their experiences. Bold claim. I can back it up. She opened her portfolio. This was a boutique hotel in Charleston. The owners wanted modern luxury. I gave them southern elegance with contemporary touches. Their booking rate increased 40% after my redesign. This restaurant in Philadelphia wanted to attract younger customers. I created an Instagram-worthy interior that's been featured in 23 publications. They have a 6-week waiting list now. Thomas looked through her work carefully. You understand the business side of design. I understand that beautiful spaces are worthless if they don't serve the client's goals. You don't just want pretty hotels. You want properties that attract guests, generate social media buzz, and justify premium pricing. He smiled. You've done your research. I always do. I have to ask. He closed her portfolio. I saw the video. The party. Are you in a place emotionally to handle a project this size? Natalie had known this question might come. She met his eyes steadily. That video shows the worst moment of my life. But it also shows you something important about me. When someone tried to humiliate me publicly, I didn't fall apart completely. I'm here 3 weeks later, competing for the biggest contract of my career. I'm focused, motivated, and I have something to prove. Not to him. To myself. Thomas studied her face. That's a good answer. It's an honest answer. How's your business partner? Tracy Chin, right? She'll be working on this with you? Tracy is brilliant. She handles the project management side while I focus on design. We're a good team. I've noticed. Your projects come in on time and under budget consistently. That's rare in this industry. He stood and walked to the window. I'm going to be honest with you, Natalie. You're not the safe choice. The safe choice is the firm with 300 employees and offices in 12 cities. But I didn't build this company by playing it safe. Natalie's heart started racing. Was he saying yes? I'm giving you one hotel first. The flagship property here in the city. You'll have 6 months and a $4 million budget. If you deliver what you've promised, the other 9 are yours. If you don't, we part ways professionally. Deal? Natalie stood. Deal. They shook hands. His grip was firm and warm. Patricia will send over the contract details tomorrow. I want you to start immediately. The hotel closes for renovation in 2 weeks. I'll be ready. Walking out of that building, Natalie felt something she hadn't felt in weeks. Hope, power, pride. She called Tracy from the car. I got it, she said when Tracy answered. I got the Harrison Hotel. Tracy screamed so loud Natalie had to hold the phone away from her ear. Are you serious? Oh my God. This is huge. Natalie, this changes everything. I know. We need to celebrate. I'm calling everyone. We're going out tonight. Tracy, I don't know if I'm ready for. Not a party. Just dinner with people who love you. Your sister, your mom, your cousin Jennifer. People who have your back. You deserve to celebrate this. Natalie thought about it. Okay. But somewhere quiet. I know the perfect place. That evening, Natalie sat in a small Italian restaurant with the 5 people who had supported her through the past 3 weeks. Her mother held her hand. Her sister kept saying how proud she was. Jennifer showed her screenshots of Gregory's social media. His posts with Simone had mostly negative comments now. People were turning on him. Don't look at that, her mother said sharply. He doesn't deserve your attention. I'm not giving him attention, Natalie said. I'm watching him suffer. There's a difference. Her sister laughed. That's my girl. So tell us about this contract. Natalie explained the project. The scope, the timeline, the opportunity it represented. Her mother listened with tears in her eyes. Baby, I'm so proud of you. That man tried to break you and look at you now. I'm not there yet, Mom. This is just the beginning. But it's a good beginning, Tracy said, raising her glass. To Natalie. To new opportunities. To showing the world what happens when you underestimate a strong woman. They all raised their glasses. Natalie looked around the table at these faces, these people who loved her unconditionally. For 7 years she had prioritized Gregory's family, Gregory's friends, Gregory's career. She had made herself smaller in every way to fit into his life. No more. There's something I need to tell you all, she said. I'm moving forward with the divorce. James is handling everything. But I need you to know something. I'm not trying to get Gregory back. I don't want him back. What I want is to show him that leaving me was the biggest mistake of his life. Not because I'm going to beg him to return, but because I'm going to succeed beyond anything he imagined. And he's going to watch it happen. Her mother smiled, proud and fierce. That's my daughter. I need you all to support that. I know some of you might think reconciliation is better. It's not. He's done. We're done. I'm moving forward alone. Alone? Jennifer said. Honey, you're not alone. You have all of us. And you have yourself, her sister added, which is worth more than 100 Gregorys. Natalie felt tears building but refused to let them fall. Not here. Not now. She was done crying over a man who didn't deserve her tears. Thank you, she said simply. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I heard about the Harrison contract. Congratulations. I always knew you were talented. Can we talk? Gee. Natalie showed it to Tracy. He's trying to worm his way back in, Tracy said darkly. Now that you're winning. Forward it to James, her mother said. Don't respond. I wasn't planning to. Natalie forwarded the message to her lawyer and blocked the new number. He can congratulate me from a distance. Preferably a very long distance. They spent the rest of the evening talking about the future. Not Gregory. Not Simone. Not the divorce. Just Natalie's business, her dreams, her plans. For the first time in 3 weeks, Natalie felt like herself again. Stronger. Clear. Ready. Gregory had thought destroying her would be easy. He was about to learn how wrong he was. 6 weeks after the party, Natalie sat in her new office. She had moved her business to a better location downtown. Glass walls, modern furniture, a view of the city. The Harrison project was already generating buzz. Design blogs were calling her an emerging talent. She had 3 new client inquiries just this week. James called at 10 in the morning. Are you sitting down? He asked. Yes. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Everything's right. Gregory's company called me an hour ago. They're opening an internal investigation into his expense reports. Natalie's breath caught. We didn't send them anything yet. No, but someone else did. Someone who works at his company noticed irregularities and reported them to HR. An anonymous tip. The investigation started last week. Do they know about Simone? Not yet. But they will. Here's the interesting part. Gregory's promotion is being suspended pending the investigation. And Simone just got transferred to a different department. They separated them. Yes. Which means the company suspects something. They're being careful. James paused. This is good for us, Natalie. Very good. It means when we present our evidence, they'll already be primed to believe it. When are we presenting it? Soon. But I want to wait until their investigation is further along. Let them find some problems on their own first. Then we'll show them the full picture. After the call, Natalie sat staring out her window. She should feel happy. Victorious. Instead, she felt oddly empty. She had thought revenge would feel better than this. Tracy knocked on her door frame. You okay? You look weird. James just called. They're investigating Gregory at work. That's great. I know. I don't feel as satisfied as I thought I would. Tracy came in and closed the door. She sat across from Natalie. Talk to me. I spent 7 years loving that man. I built my life around him. And now I'm tearing down his life piece by piece. Shouldn't I feel guilty? Did he feel guilty when he humiliated you in front of 50 people? No. Did he feel guilty when he stole your grandmother's lamp? No. Did he feel guilty when he demanded half of the business you built? Your point is made. Tracy leaned forward. Listen to me. Guilt is what good people feel when they hurt someone who didn't deserve it. Gregory deserves everything that's coming to him. You're not destroying an innocent man. You're holding a cheater and a fraud accountable. There's a difference. I know you're right. But part of me still remembers loving him. Part of me still remembers thinking we'd be together forever. Natalie looked at her friend. How do I reconcile that? You don't have to reconcile it. You can acknowledge that you loved who you thought he was while accepting that person never really existed. The real Gregory is the one who betrayed you. That's who deserves your anger. Before Natalie could respond, her phone rang. A known number. She answered cautiously. Natalie? A woman's voice. Young. Shaky. This is Simone. Natalie felt her whole body go cold. How did you get this number? I need to talk to you. Please. Woman to woman. We have nothing to discuss. Please. Just hear me out. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Natalie almost hung up, but curiosity stopped her. Talk. I made a mistake. Gregory told me you two were separated. He said you had an arrangement. He said the marriage was over but you were dragging out the divorce for financial reasons. And you believed him? I was stupid. I know that now. But please, you have to understand. He was my boss. He was charming. He said everything I wanted to hear. So you slept with a married man and you want me to feel sorry for you? No. I want you to know I'm sorry. I want you to know I didn't understand what I was doing. Natalie laughed bitterly. You didn't understand? You were at company events. You saw us together. You knew he wore a wedding ring. He said it was for appearances. You believed what you wanted to believe. Don't pretend this was some innocent mistake. Simone was crying now. Please. He's been calling me nonstop. He says it's my fault his job is in trouble. He says I need to lie to HR, tell them nothing happened. But I can't. I just can't anymore. So tell them the truth. I'm scared. If they fire me, how will I pay my rent? I moved here for this job. I don't have family nearby. I don't have savings. None of that is my problem. I know it's not. But please, I'm begging you. If they ask you questions, if they want statements, please don't make it worse for me than it already is. Natalie felt a flash of rage so intense she had to close her eyes. You want mercy from me? You want me to protect you? I just want a chance to fix this. You should have thought about that before you slept with my husband. You made your choice. Now live with it. Natalie, please. Listen to me very carefully. I'm not your friend. I'm not your ally. I am the woman whose life you helped destroy. Do not call me again. Do not ask me for anything. You and Gregory deserve each other. But you're not going to get each other because he's a liar and you're a fool. Figure out your own problems. She hung up. Tracy was staring at her with wide eyes. Was that really Simone? Yes. Apparently Gregory told her to lie to HR and she's having a crisis of conscience. What are you going to do? Nothing. She made her bed. Natalie stood and walked to the window. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to call James and tell him about this conversation. If she's having second thoughts, maybe she'll cooperate with the investigation. Maybe she'll tell them everything. Would that help us? It would destroy Gregory faster. If his own mistress turns on him, the company will have no choice but to fire him. Tracy whistled. Cold. I love it. But Natalie didn't feel cold. She felt tired. Bone-deep tired. She had spent 6 weeks planning revenge, documenting evidence, building her case. And now it was all falling into place. Gregory's job was in jeopardy. His reputation was crumbling. Simone was having regrets. She should feel victorious. Instead, she just felt done. Done with all of it. Done with Gregory, done with Simone, done with the anger that had been fueling her. Tracy, she said slowly, I think I'm ready to just move on. What do you mean? I mean, I've done what I needed to do. The evidence is with James. The company is investigating. Everything is in motion. I don't need to keep feeding this fire. I can just walk away. Focus on my business. Focus on my life. Tracy came to stand beside her. Are you sure? Yes. Gregory is going to face consequences with or without me obsessing over it. I've spent enough time on him. More than he deserved. It's time to focus on me. Okay. Then that's what we'll do. Natalie's phone buzzed. A text from her mother. Dinner tonight? I made your favorite. She smiled. Want to come to dinner at my mom's house? Always. As they left the office, Natalie felt something shift. The weight she had been carrying started to lift. Gregory and Simone could destroy each other. She was done participating. She had better things to do. 3 months after the party, Natalie stood in the lobby of the Harrison Hotel and smiled. The renovation was complete. She had transformed the space from generic luxury into something special. Rich jewel tones, custom lighting, furniture pieces she had designed herself. The whole lobby told a story of modern elegance mixed with historic charm. Thomas Harrison walked slowly through the space, touching fabrics, studying details. Natalie held her breath. Finally he turned to her. This is exactly what I wanted. Oh, it's better than what I wanted. Natalie felt relief flood through her. I'm so glad you're happy with it. Happy? I'm thrilled. Patricia, call the board. We're giving Miss Brooks the full contract. All 10 properties. Patricia, who had been following them with a tablet, grinned. Already drafting the agreement. Thomas shook Natalie's hand. You've earned this. I'll be honest, I was worried. Your firm is small. This project was ambitious. But you delivered ahead of schedule and under budget. That's almost unheard of in this industry. Tracy and I work well together. And we had an excellent construction team. Don't downplay your role. This design is brilliant. It's going to be featured in every major design publication. I'm already getting calls from other hotel chains asking who did the work. He paused. In fact, I want to discuss something with you. I'm planning to open 3 new properties next year. Boutique hotels in Seattle, Austin, and Charleston. I want you to design them from the ground up. Not renovations. Complete original designs. Natalie's mind raced. That would mean expanding her business significantly. Hiring more staff. Opening satellite offices. It was a huge opportunity. And a huge risk. Can I think about it? Take a week. But Natalie, I'm going to give you some advice. Stop playing it safe. You're talented enough to build a national brand. Don't let fear hold you back. That evening, Natalie sat in her new apartment. She had moved out of the house 2 months ago, and it had sold within a week. Gregory's lawyer had tried to claim half the proceeds, but James had shut that down with documentation proving she owned it before the marriage. She loved this apartment. Modern, sleek, high floor with city views. No memories of Gregory. No ghosts of her old life. Her phone rang. James. I have news, he said. Gregory was fired today. Natalie sat down slowly. What happened? The investigation concluded. They found $58,000 in fraudulent expense claims. Add in the inappropriate relationship with a subordinate, and the company had no choice. He's out. No severance. No references. Nothing. What about Simone? She resigned last week. Apparently she cooperated with the investigation and they agreed not to pursue charges against her if she left quietly. So she got away with it. She lost her career in this city. Every company in the industry knows what happened by now. She'll have to move somewhere else and start over. That's not exactly getting away with it. Natalie thought about that. What happens now with the divorce? We go to court next month. With his job loss, he has no case for any of your assets. The judge will grant you everything you're asking for. It's a formality at this point. That's it? It's over? Almost. There's one more thing. The IRS received an anonymous tip about Gregory's tax returns. They're opening an investigation. Natalie's breath caught. Did we? We didn't send them anything. Someone else reported him. Maybe someone from his company. Maybe someone else he wronged. Does it matter? No. I guess it doesn't. After the call, Natalie sat in silence. Gregory had lost his job. Lost Simone. Was facing potential tax fraud charges. Everything she had wanted to happen was happening. She felt nothing. No satisfaction. No victory. Just emptiness. Tracy came over an hour later with Chinese food. They ate on Natalie's couch, watching a cooking show and not talking about Gregory. Thomas offered me a huge expansion opportunity, Natalie finally said. I know. He called me too. What are you thinking? I'm thinking it's scary. We'd have to hire 10 more people at least. Open multiple offices. It's a massive commitment. It's also a massive opportunity. What if I'm not ready? Tracy set down her food and looked at her friend. Natalie, You've spent the last 3 months renovating a hotel while going through a divorce and dealing with your ex-husband's public scandal. You completed the project ahead of schedule. If you can handle that, you can handle anything. That's different. I was running on anger and adrenaline. And now I'm just tired. Maybe that's good. Maybe you need to make this decision from a calm place instead of an angry place. Natalie thought about that. Thomas said I should stop playing it safe. He's right. You've been playing it safe your whole life. Safe marriage. Safe business growth. Safe everything. And where did safe get you? Divorced and humiliated. Exactly. So maybe it's time to stop being safe. Take the risk. Build the empire. Show the world what you're capable of. Natalie looked at her friend. Tracy believed in her. Thomas believed in her. Her family believed in her. The only person who didn't believe in her was herself. Or rather, the version of herself that Gregory had created. The small version. The safe version. The woman who made herself less so he could feel like more. That woman was gone. Okay, Natalie said. Let's do it. Let's expand. Tracy grinned. Really? Really? Call Thomas tomorrow. Tell him yes. We're going national. They clinked their wine glasses together. To the new Natalie, Tracy said. No, Natalie corrected. To the real Natalie. The one who's been here all along. The courtroom was cold and sterile. Fluorescent lights, hard wooden benches, walls painted an awful beige color. Natalie sat beside James, wearing a navy suit and her best professional demeanor. Across the aisle, Gregory sat with his lawyer, a young man who looked nervous. Gregory looked terrible. His suit was wrinkled. He had dark circles under his eyes. He had lost weight. Part of Natalie felt a flash of pity. She crushed it immediately. The judge entered. Everyone stood. Judge Patricia Morrison was in her 60s, gray hair pulled back in a tight bun, glasses perched on her nose. She had a reputation for being no-nonsense and fair. Please be seated, she said, looking through papers. This is the divorce proceeding for Gregory and Natalie Brooks. I've reviewed all the submitted materials. Let's begin with the petitioner's claims. Mr. Brooks, your lawyer filed requesting half of the marital home and 50% of Mrs. Brooks's business. Correct. Gregory's lawyer stood. Yes, Your Honor. My client contributed financially to both assets during the marriage and is entitled to compensation. Mrs. Brooks, your response? James stood smoothly. Your Honor, Mrs. Brooks purchased the home 2 years before the marriage. The deed is solely in her name. As for the business, Mr. Brooks contributed $5,000 4 years ago. Mrs. Brooks can document every other cent of investment, every contract, every client relationship. The business is entirely her creation and her property. Judge Morrison looked at Gregory. Mr. Brooks, did you purchase the home? No, Your Honor, but I paid for maintenance and improvements during our marriage. As would be expected of a spouse living in the home. That doesn't grant you ownership. She made a note. What about the business? Did you work in the business? No, but I supported my wife while she built it. Supported how? Gregory hesitated. Emotionally. I was there for her. Judge Morrison looked at him over her glasses. That's called being a spouse, Mr. Brooks? It's not an investment. James stepped forward. Your Honor, I have documentation showing that during the time Mr. Brooks claims he was supporting his wife, she was also supporting him. She hosted 16 professional networking dinners at their home for his colleagues. She provided interior design services for his office at no charge. She accompanied him to business events regularly. If we're calculating support, Mrs. Brooks gave more than she received. The judge nodded. I've seen that documentation. It's very thorough. Gregory's lawyer tried again. Your Honor, my client gave up opportunities to support this marriage. He deserves consideration. What opportunities did he give up? The judge asked. The lawyer looked at Gregory. Gregory said nothing. That's what I thought. Let's move on. Mr. Brooks, I understand you've recently lost your employment. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. But that's not relevant to. It's very relevant. You're asking for assets from your ex-wife while you're currently unemployed. That suggests you're viewing this divorce as a financial opportunity rather than an equitable division of marital property. Gregory's face reddened. That's not. Furthermore, the judge continued, looking at her papers, I see that your employment was terminated due to fraud and workplace misconduct. Is that correct? That's a mischaracterization. Yes or no, Mr. Brooks? Yes, he admitted quietly. And Mrs. Brooks, you're currently employed? Natalie stood. Yes, Your Honor. I own and operate a successful interior design firm. We recently secured a major national contract. How major? $20 million over 3 years with Harrison Hotel Group. The judge's eyebrows rose. Impressive. And you built this business during your marriage while also supporting your husband's career. Yes, Your Honor. Mrs. Brooks, did you ever ask your husband for financial support for your business beyond the initial $5,000? No, Your Honor. I built it independently. Judge Morrison made more notes. She looked up at both of them. I'm going to make this very simple. Mrs. Brooks, you keep the house proceeds, your business, and all assets you brought into this marriage or created during it. Mr. Brooks, you keep your personal effects and any assets solely in your name. Gregory's lawyer stood quickly. Your Honor, that's completely one-sided. It's completely fair. Your client is asking for assets he didn't create, didn't pay for, and has no legal claim to. This court doesn't reward spite. She looked directly at Gregory. Mr. Brooks, I've seen the documentation of how you announced this divorce. At a party your wife threw for you. In front of 50 witnesses. You humiliated her publicly and then expected her to simply hand over her assets. That's not how this works. Your Honor, I'm not finished. I'm also aware that Mrs. Brooks could have made your life much more difficult. She could have pursued criminal charges for the property you removed from her home without permission. She could have involved herself in your workplace investigation. She didn't. She took the high road. I suggest you show some gratitude for that by accepting this judgment quietly and moving on with your life. Gregory slumped in his chair. Furthermore, Mrs. Brooks is awarded costs. Mr. Brooks, you'll be responsible for her legal fees in this matter. The total is $14,000. You have 60 days to pay. Gregory's face went white. I don't have that kind of money right now. Then I suggest you find it. Court fees must be paid regardless of your employment situation. She signed papers. This divorce is granted. You're both free to go. The gavel came down. It was over. Natalie stood on shaky legs. 7 years of marriage dissolved in 20 minutes. James gathered his papers. That went better than expected. Gregory and his lawyer left quickly without looking back. In the hallway, Natalie saw Simone waiting. The younger woman looked hopeful when Gregory appeared. He walked past her without stopping. Simone's face crumpled. Natalie felt a flash of satisfaction. Then nothing. She was too tired to care anymore. Tracy was waiting outside the courtroom. She hugged Natalie tightly. How do you feel? Free, Natalie said. And she meant it. They walked out of the courthouse into bright sunlight. Natalie took a deep breath of fresh air. Want to grab lunch? Tracy asked. No. I want to go to the office. We have client presentations this afternoon. Natalie, you just got divorced. Take the day off. I don't want to take the day off. I want to work. I want to focus on the future instead of the past. Tracy studied her friend's face. Okay, but we're celebrating tonight. Properly. No arguments. Deal. At the office, Natalie threw herself into work. 2 new client proposals to review. Fabric samples to select. Construction schedules to approve. She lost herself in details and decisions. Her phone buzzed around 3. A text from an unknown number. You won. Are you happy now? You destroyed my life. Gregory. Natalie stared at the message for a long moment. Then she typed back. You destroyed your own life. I just stopped letting you destroy mine. She blocked the number and went back to work. That evening, Tracy took her to a nice restaurant. Just the 2 of them, no big celebration. They ordered expensive wine and good food. To freedom, Tracy said, raising her glass. To new beginnings, Natalie countered. They drank. How are you really doing? Tracy asked. I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. I thought I'd feel more. Something. But I just feel relieved. It's over. I can move forward. No regrets. About the divorce? No. About the marriage? Maybe. I regret wasting 7 years on someone who didn't value me. But I don't regret who I became because of it. I'm stronger now. Clearer about what I want and what I won't accept. What do you want? Natalie thought about it. I want to build my business. I want to create beautiful spaces. I want to be proud of myself. I want to be happy on my own terms, not because some man validates me. No romance. Maybe someday. But not for a long time. I need to remember who I am without someone else defining me. Gregory made me feel like I needed him to be complete. I need to prove to myself that's not true. Tracy smiled. You're going to be just fine. I know, Natalie said. And for the first time in months she believed it. 6 months after the divorce, Natalie was thriving. Her business had expanded to 4 cities. The Harrison Hotel renovations were being featured in every major design magazine. She had a waiting list of clients. Her bank account was healthier than it had ever been. She was happy. Genuinely, deeply happy. Then Gregory showed up at her office. Natalie was reviewing fabric samples when her receptionist buzzed. "Miss Brooks, there's a man here to see you. He says it's urgent." "His name is Gregory Brooks." Natalie felt her stomach drop. "Tell him I'm not available." "I tried. He says he won't leave until he speaks with you. He looks bad, Miss Brooks. Should I call security?" Natalie closed her eyes. "No. Give me 5 minutes, then send him in." She had 5 minutes to prepare herself. She put away the fabric samples. She straightened her desk. She pulled up some work on her computer so she'd look busy. When Gregory walked into her office, she barely recognized him. He had lost at least 30 pounds. His clothes hung on him. His hair was too long and messy. He had dark circles under his eyes. He looked desperate. "Natalie," he said. His voice cracked. "Thank you for seeing me. You have 5 minutes. What do you want?" He sat without being invited. "I need your help." Natalie laughed. The sound was cold and sharp. "Excuse me? Please. Just hear me out. I'm being investigated by the IRS for tax evasion. If they press charges, I could go to prison for 5 years. My lawyer says the best defense is showing good faith by paying back what I owe, but I don't have the money. I've lost everything. And you want me to give you money?" Natalie couldn't believe what she was hearing. "A loan. I'll pay you back. I just need $50,000 to settle with the IRS and avoid prosecution." "You're insane." "Natalie, please. You're doing well. Your business is successful. You have the money. I'm begging you." She stood slowly. "Let me make sure I understand. You humiliated me in front of 50 people. You tried to steal my business. You called me expired and worthless. You destroyed 7 years of my life. And now you want me to give you money? I made mistakes. I know that now. I'm sorry." "You're not sorry. You're desperate. There's a difference." "I'm sorry. Simone left me. She's with someone else now, someone with money. My parents won't talk to me because they're ashamed. I have no friends left. I'm living in a studio apartment and working at a call center. My life is falling apart." "Good." Gregory's face crumpled. "How can you be so cruel? You used to love me. I used to love who I thought you were. That person never existed. The real you is sitting in front of me, and I feel nothing for you but disgust. Please. I'm begging you. I'll do anything. There's nothing you can do for me. Nothing I want from you. You made your choices, Gregory. Now live with them. If I go to prison, my life is over. Your life was over the moment you decided to cheat on me and commit fraud. You did this to yourself." He stood suddenly, his hands shaking. "You're enjoying this. You're enjoying watching me suffer." "No," Natalie said calmly. "I'm not enjoying it. I'm indifferent to it. You don't matter enough to me anymore for me to enjoy anything about you. You're just a stranger who made bad decisions. I could tell people things about you. Secrets. Things that could hurt your business." Natalie smiled. "Go ahead. Try. My clients know my work. They trust me. Nothing you say will change that. And threatening me just proves you haven't learned anything." Gregory deflated. He looked old suddenly and tired. "I really am sorry, Natalie. I didn't understand what I had until I lost it. That's your problem. Not mine. I understand. I thought maybe you'd help me because you're a good person. I am a good person. But being good doesn't mean letting people who hurt me come back and hurt me again. Helping you would be betraying myself. And I'm done betraying myself for you or anyone else." Gregory walked to the door. He paused, his hand on the handle. "For what it's worth, you look happy. You look better than I've ever seen you. I'm happy. Happier than I ever was with you." He left without another word. Natalie sat down heavily. Her hands were shaking. Tracy appeared in the doorway seconds later. "Are you okay?" "I saw him leave." "What did he want?" "Money. And forgiveness." Natalie laughed shakily. "He actually thought I'd help him." "What did you say?" "I said no. I said I don't care what happens to him." Tracy hugged her. "I'm proud of you. I thought seeing him would hurt more. But it didn't. Just felt sad. Sad that I wasted 7 years on someone so selfish. But you're free of him now." "Yes, I am." An hour later, Natalie's phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Is this Natalie Brooks? A man's voice. Official sounding. Yes. Who's this? I'm Agent Martin with the IRS. I'm calling about Gregory Brooks. I understand he was your husband. Natalie's heart started racing. Ex-husband. We're divorced. Yes, ma'am. I need to ask you some questions. Did you file joint tax returns during your marriage? Yes. For 7 years. Were you aware that Mr. Brooks was underreporting his income? I became aware of it after we separated. I gave that information to my divorce lawyer. Did you benefit from the underreported income? Natalie felt cold. No. I had no knowledge of any fraud. I signed the returns he prepared. I trusted him. I see. We're going to need to review your financial records from the marriage. Are you willing to cooperate? Of course. I have nothing to hide. Good. We'll be in touch soon to schedule an interview. After the call, Natalie immediately phoned James. They think I was involved in his tax fraud, she said, trying not to panic. Calm down. This is standard procedure. They have to investigate spouses. But you have documentation showing you didn't know about the fraud. You reported it to me as soon as you discovered it. You're protected. Are you sure? I'm sure. Cooperate fully, provide all documentation, and you'll be fine. Gregory can't drag you down with him. That evening, Natalie sat in her apartment trying to work but unable to focus. Gregory's visit had shaken her more than she wanted to admit. Not because she felt sorry for him, but because he had reminded her of how close she had come to having her whole life destroyed. If she hadn't been thorough in documenting everything, if she hadn't found his fraud, if she hadn't divorced him when she did, she could be facing prison too. The thought made her sick. Her phone buzzed. A text from Simone. I heard Gregory visited you. What did he want? Is he okay? Natalie stared at the message in disbelief. After everything, Simone still cared about him? She typed back, don't ever contact me again. Whatever Gregory is going through, it's not my concern. And it shouldn't be yours either. Move on. She blocked the number. She was done with both of them. Completely done. 8 months after the divorce, Natalie stood in her Seattle office overlooking Puget Sound. The space was beautiful. Modern, bright, with incredible views. Her third office. She had teams in 4 cities now. 35 employees. Projects booked through next year. Tracy walked in with coffee. The Charleston property photos just came back from the photographer. They're stunning. Natalie looked at the images on Tracy's tablet. The boutique hotel she had designed from the ground up. Every detail was perfect. It was some of her best work. Thomas is going to love these, she said. He already does. He called this morning. He wants to discuss 5 more properties. 5. That would make us a major national firm. Yes. Tracy grinned. We did it, Natalie. We're not a small business anymore. We're legit. Natalie felt pride swell in her chest. 2 years ago, she had been standing in her living room watching her marriage fall apart in front of 50 people. Now she was running a multi-million-dollar company with offices across the country. Her phone rang. James. I have news, he said. Gregory was indicted. Tax evasion and fraud. The trial is in 3 months. Natalie sat down. How bad is it? Bad. The prosecution has solid evidence. His lawyer is trying to negotiate a plea deal, but the IRS wants to make an example of him. He's looking at 3 to 5 years minimum. And me? You're clear. The investigation concluded you had no knowledge of his fraud. They're not pursuing any charges against you. Relief flooded through her. Thank God. There's something else. Gregory's lawyer contacted me. He wants you to testify on his behalf. Character witness. Natalie almost laughed. Is he serious? Apparently. He thinks if his ex-wife speaks well of him, it will help with sentencing. Tell him no. I already did. But I wanted you to know. After the call, Natalie told Tracy what was happening. He actually thought you'd help him in court? After everything? He's desperate. People do crazy things when they're desperate. Are you okay? Natalie thought about it. Yes, I'm okay. I feel bad for what's going to happen to him, but I also know he did it to himself. Every choice he made led to this moment. Do you think Simone will testify? I have no idea. I don't care. That was true. She really didn't care anymore. Gregory's fate, Simone's life, none of it mattered to her. They were strangers now. People from a past life that no longer affected her present. 2 weeks later, Natalie was featured in Design World magazine. A 6-page spread about her company's expansion and her innovative approach to hospitality design. The article called her the rising star of interior design and a visionary creating spaces that tell stories. Her mother called crying. "Baby, I'm so proud of you. Your father would be so proud." Her father had died when she was 20. He had been her biggest supporter, the one who encouraged her artistic side when others said she should be practical. "I wish he could see this," Natalie said. "He can see it. And he's beaming." The article generated more publicity. More clients reached out. More opportunities appeared. Natalie was busier than she had ever been. She was also happier than she had ever been. One evening, she met her sister for dinner at a trendy downtown restaurant. Halfway through their meal, she glanced at a table near the bar. Gregory sat alone, eating a sandwich and looking at his phone. He wore cheap clothes and looked exhausted. He was thin and tired and broken. Their eyes met across the restaurant. Natalie expected to feel something. Anger, sadness, satisfaction, anything. Instead, she felt nothing. He was just a man she used to know. A stranger eating dinner alone. She looked away and continued her conversation with her sister. A few minutes later, Gregory walked past their table on his way out. He paused. "Natalie," he said quietly. She looked up at him. "Gregory, you look good. Happy." "I am." He hesitated like he wanted to say more. Then he just nodded and left. Her sister watched him go. "That was weird." "That was closure," Natalie said. "I saw him and felt nothing. That's how I know I've truly moved on." "Do you ever think about what might have happened if he hadn't cheated?" "Sometimes. But then I realized that man was never the person I thought he was. If he hadn't ended things that night, he would have ended them eventually. And I would have wasted even more time." "Do you think you'll ever want to date again?" Natalie considered it. "Maybe. Someday. But I'm not looking for it. I'm happy with my life as it is. If someone comes along who adds to that happiness, great. But I don't need someone to complete me. I'm already complete." Her sister smiled. "That's the healthiest thing I've ever heard you say. Therapy helped." "You're in therapy?" "Have been for 6 months. Best decision I made after the divorce." Natalie sipped her wine. "I needed to understand why I accepted so little for so long. Why I made myself small. Therapy helped me see that. And I learned that I was raised to believe love meant sacrifice. That good wives support their husbands even at their own expense. That marriage meant compromise, which I interpreted as giving up what I wanted so he could have what he wanted." She paused. "But real love isn't like that. Real partnership means both people lifting each other up, not one person shrinking so the other can expand." "Wow. I know. Revolutionary concept, right?" Natalie laughed. "But seriously, those 7 years taught me exactly what I don't want. Now I know what I do want. That's valuable." They finished dinner and walked out into the cool evening air. "Want to come over and watch a movie?" her sister asked. "Can't. I have a morning flight to Austin. Site visit for the new hotel." "You're always working." "I love what I do. It doesn't feel like work." They hugged goodbye. Natalie walked to her car feeling light and free. Her phone buzzed. A text from Thomas. "The Austin design is approved. Start construction next month. Also, I'm recommending you to the Bellamy Group. They're looking for someone to design their new resort in Hawaii. Interested?" Natalie grinned. "Hawaii. A resort design. That would be amazing." She typed back, "Very interested. Send details." Life was good. Better than good. It was exactly what she had built it to be. Gregory could face his trial. Simone could face her regrets. Natalie was too busy building her future to worry about their past. 2 years after the party that destroyed her life, Natalie stood on stage at the National Design Awards. She wore a stunning emerald green gown that made her dark skin glow. Her natural curls were styled in an elegant updo. She felt beautiful and powerful and proud. And the award for Hospitality Design of the Year goes to Natalie Brooks of Brooks Design Group for the Harrison Hotel, Seattle. The applause was deafening. Natalie walked to the podium, her heels clicking on the marble floor. She accepted the Crystal Award from last year's winner. The weight of it felt good in her hands. She looked out at the audience. Industry leaders, potential clients, press photographers. Tracy was in the front row crying happy tears. "Thank you," Natalie said into the microphone. "This award means everything to me. 2 years ago, I was rebuilding my life from scratch. I was scared, hurt, and uncertain about my future. But I had a choice. I could let that experience break me, or I could use it as fuel to become the person I was always meant to be." The audience was silent, listening. "I chose the second option. I threw myself into work. I took risks. I stopped playing it safe. And I discovered something important. I didn't need anyone else to validate my worth. I didn't need a relationship to feel complete. I just needed to believe in myself. More applause. This award isn't just for me. It's for every person who's been underestimated, dismissed, or told they weren't enough. You are enough. More than enough. Thank you. She left the stage to a standing ovation. Backstage, Tracy grabbed her in a fierce hug. That speech. You made me cry. I made myself cry, Natalie admitted, laughing. Thomas Harrison appeared, smiling broadly. Congratulations. Well deserved. Thank you for believing in me. You made it easy. By the way, the Bellamy Resort opened last week. Have you seen the reviews? Not yet. He pulled out his phone and showed her. 5 stars across the board. Guests were calling it the most beautiful resort in Hawaii. Design blogs were featuring it. Her name was everywhere. You did it, Thomas said. You're a household name now in this industry. We did it. Your faith in me made this possible. My faith was just the starting point. You did the work. The after-party was held in a beautiful ballroom. Natalie mingled with industry leaders, accepted congratulations, and made new connections. Every person wanted to work with her. Every firm wanted to collaborate. She was at the top of her game. Gregory had done her a favor, though he didn't know it. By leaving her so cruelly, he had forced her to face herself, to choose herself, to build a life based on her own dreams instead of his. She had wanted revenge. She had gotten it. He had lost his job, his reputation, his freedom. He had faced consequences for his actions. But revenge hadn't been the victory. The real victory was this moment. Standing in her beautiful home, running a successful business, feeling genuinely happy. The real victory was knowing she didn't need anyone else to make her feel complete. She was complete on her own. If love came again someday, it would add to her happiness. But it wouldn't define it. She would never again make herself smaller so someone else could feel bigger. She would never again accept less than she deserved. She would never again betray herself for anyone. 2 years ago, Gregory had told 50 people that she was expired. That he was moving forward without her. He had been right about one thing. Someone was moving forward. But it wasn't him. Natalie smiled at her reflection in the window. She had built this life from the ashes of her old one. She had taken the worst moment of her life and transformed it into fuel for her success. And she was just getting started. The future stretched out before her, full of possibilities. New projects. New challenges. New adventures. She was ready for all of it. Because she wasn't the woman Gregory had left behind at that party. She was so much more. And finally, beautifully, completely, she was happy.